Getting lean and shredded has quietly become one of the most common ways people try to compensate for deeper issues in their lives. Low confidence, lack of direction, weak self-esteem, or feeling out of control. Getting in shape feels like a solution. And to be fair, losing some weight isn't that difficult. Anyone can follow basic internet advice and drop a few kilos. But visible abs and sharp muscle definition are a different story. That's where most people fail. Not because they're lazy, but because they completely misunderstand how hard the process becomes over time. At the beginning, dieting feels manageable. If you only have a little fat to lose, everything seems smooth and predictable. But once dieting stretches from days into weeks, and from weeks into months, the difficulty doesn't rise in a straight line. It compounds. Doing a 300 to 500 calorie deficit for a single day is easy. Doing the same thing consistently for months is an entirely different mental challenge. Most people don't anticipate how quickly motivation drains as hunger quietly builds. Humans are famously bad at understanding exponential growth. Imagine having just $1 of debt that increases by only 2% per day. After 30 days, it's noticeable. After 60 days, it's stressful. After a few years, it's completely overwhelming. Now apply that same curve to dieting. At first, hunger is mild. You even feel disciplined and in control. But by week 5 or week 10, food starts occupying your thoughts. You think about meals while working and you dream about eating at night. The good news is that getting ripped isn't impossible. You just need the right tools for when dieting starts to feel unbearable. The first tool is avoiding a category of food I like to call protein junk. If you look closely at these products, you'll notice a clear pattern: marketing. Protein is a magic word. Slap it on a package and people instantly assume the product is healthy. Labels can make bold claims, even when the food is mostly sugar or ultra-processed ingredients. Even when companies replace sugar with artificial sweeteners, fiber powders, and processed starches, the core problem remains the same. These foods are engineered to be overeaten. They're designed so one serving never feels like enough. Protein junk works for only two types of people: beginners who are replacing candy with slightly better snacks, and people who naturally stop eating once they feel full. For everyone else, it backfires. A chocolate protein bar that tastes like a brownie doesn't satisfy hunger. It triggers cravings. You eat it in seconds and immediately want another one. People love to say protein and fiber are filling, but when they're combined with sweeteners, oils, gums, and additives into a pocket-sized bar, they don't work the same way. Real protein sources that take time to chew, don't taste addictive, and physically fill your plate, keep you full because your body has time to register them. The goal is high-volume food that isn't exciting. Tofu is a good example. It's mostly water, reasonably high in protein, filling, and not something you binge on for pleasure. Every protein source exists on a spectrum between taste and bingeability. Your job is to find the middle ground, filling enough to control hunger but enjoyable enough that you don't quit early. Diet tip number 2 is tracking everything you eat. If your goal is to get shredded and not just lose a few pounds, awareness is non-negotiable. The moment calorie awareness disappears is the moment the diet starts slipping. Many people learn this the hard way. Manual tracking with food scales and notes becomes exhausting, especially when eating out. When food feels untrackable, people overeat, estimate afterward, realize they're way over their target, and give up. Hunger escalates over time. If you think you'll never mess up that badly, you don't understand the curve. That's why fast and simple tracking matters. The goal isn't perfect accuracy, it's consistency. If everything is logged, damage stays controlled and progress continues. Diet tip number 3 is eating water, not just drinking it. Liquids empty from your stomach quickly, even sparkling drinks or zero-calorie sodas. They distract hunger, but they don't solve it. Solid foods that contain water do. Fruits, vegetables, and potatoes are mostly water, yet they stay in your stomach because they're solid. That's why you can eat a large portion for very few calories and still feel full. Soup is another powerful tool. Thick soups and stews take time to eat and digest, which keeps hunger quiet longer. Oatmeal works the same way. It absorbs water, expands, and forces you to eat slowly. Add even more water, and you can turn it into a massive filling meal under 300 calories. It's not glamorous, but it works when hunger becomes intense. Diet tip number 4 is taking your mind off food. If you're eating 1800 calories a day, most of your day cannot involve eating. People who succeed stay busy, remove trigger foods, and limit how often they eat. Snacks are eaten with meals, not between them. Every time you start eating, hunger opens a door, and it doesn't close until satisfaction. The final tip is patience. This isn't generic advice, and it's the entire system. Getting ripped is boring. Wake up, weigh yourself, hit calories and protein, train, sleep, and repeat. You don't fail because it's too hard. You fail because you run out of patience. Obsessing helps many goals, but not dieting. Obsession amplifies hunger. Simplicity kills it. Fewer decisions mean fewer mistakes, and over time, the results arrive.